Hello parents, I'm Mr. Howard Yu. Today I'd like to share with you there's something very interesting that your child should enroll in this training, which is highly recommended. I'd like to share with you this slide which I have prepared and encourage parents to guide their children through the coming SA1 prelim examinations and the final PSLE examinations. So some parents they ask, or the children they were confident in doing well in exam, but they were disappointed after they received such grades. So what's the reason for this? And sometimes it's not due to the child's fault. The child may ask what happened. Perhaps they have answered the questions out of context, or maybe they have got the concept wrong. However, most of the time is due to carelessness. So how can we help student who, let's say, got an F grade jump to A grade? From F to A is not possible with science, because science is a subject where once they get the concept right, they can improve very easily. Because in the past years, we have seen pupils jump grades after our coaching, and it's very common to see that they have jumped grades from C to A, or even previously from E to B. So therefore, by hypothesis, from F to A is possible. So this is the achievement level which MOE has just introduced, the ALs, from the highest score of 1 to the lowest of 8. So I'm sure that many of you are familiar with this. Let's carry on. So this is a range. I've enlarged the picture. So for me as a student or as a teacher, I encourage my student to aim for at least AL3. AL3 will match a mark range of 80 to 84. And this is an example of students scoring various marks and what is the AL they will achieve in their score here. As you can see, for example, in science, they get AL2, which is equivalent to 85 to 89. And mathematics, let's say they do very well, scoring AL1, which is above 19 and above. And that will give a cumulative score of AL8. So you can see that students of this year taking the PSLE, if they want to qualify for Express, the maximum AL that they can achieve is 20. So 20, let's say divide by 4 subjects, will be getting 5. So they must hit an average of 65 to 74 marks for all the 4 subjects in order to qualify into Express stream. And then for those in the NA, if they score between 23 and 24 AL, they will be streamed to NA. So for students who want to aim for better schools, better secondary schools, they need to achieve at least an average of AL3. So AL3 multiplied by 4, you will get 12. So it's within this range between 4 to 20 in express stream. Therefore, I highly encourage students, because science is a subject where they can achieve better ALs from AL1 to AL3. So coming on Good Friday, the 2nd of April, I have this P5 Science SA1 OEQ, Open-Ended Questions training. So this course I've conducted several years, and this year I think is the 6th year. And this is a training involved, and I highly encourage students to come for this training. So for those who miss this training, there's another training on the 13th of May. It is also a public holiday, Hari Raya holiday, and it's the same timing. And for those who really miss, that's the last chance, Vesak Day on 26th May. But Vesak Day, this is quite special because most students, they will have finished their SA1, they get a script back. So that will include a post SA1 analysis of various schools' difficult questions. So I highly encourage this year PSLE students quickly book this slot on the 26th of May, which is a Vesak Day holiday, because Both P5 and P6 students will benefit from this training because basically I'm teaching the students how to answer challenging open-ended questions. So you can get the details here. You can take a photo of this screen here before I go to the next slide, or you can contact me at 826-85299 WhatsApp for more details. And this is the science curriculum framework given by MOE, Science as an Inquiry. I'd like to highlight to you because this is from the headquarters. It says that the learning of science does require a certain level of clarity, though in the way concepts are explained, given the context of the question. Otherwise, we here refer to either the teachers, parents, or educators in general, may end up endorsing misconceptions in students or rewarding them for ambiguous responses. So, therefore, from several years ago, PSLE marking has adopted a more strict approach. I'd like to show you a satellite view of all the PSLE topics. On my left, you can see here these are the topics of B3 here. Generally, they will learn about diversities of living things, and also the topic of magnets is being introduced, and digestive system, skeletal system, and muscular system. And also in P4, a very important topic is matter and its three states. Heat is a major topic tested in PSLE and also for light. Next, on the right here, you can see the topic in P5 here. If you notice, I put this font the bigger size because actually P5 is the most difficult level, namely because as you can see, P5 and P6 are considered upper block science, and it takes about 8 months to complete the syllabus in P5 compared to about 4.5 months in P6. The reason being because most of the P6 students, they need to prepare for their preliminary examinations or prelim. So usually by mid-April, the school would have taught all the topics for PSLE. As is noticed of this symbol, actually these topics were being removed in 2020 PSLE due to COVID-19. But this year, they will be tested. So this year's, assuming we have no circuit breaker, the syllabus is being carried out successfully. So this year, PSLE students will be expected to learn all these things that they have learned from P3 to P6. So therefore, some parents are not aware that for PSLE, pupils are expected to know and more importantly, integrate all the P3 to P6 topics being taught. What do I mean by integrate? For example, there's a 5-mark question testing about the concept of heat. How can this heat be related to electricity? Or how can, for example, another topic, the change of state, be related to, let's say, a topic in water cycle? As we know that water cycle, the three states of matter, for example, uh, when water gain heats, it evaporate, become water vapor. So there's heat involved. So therefore, students they need to know about integration. So topics like global warming, burning of fossil fuel, these are P6 topics, and also impacts on environment. Sometimes this topic relate to topics in P4 and P5. So you can see there's like a triangular integration, just like the SAF tri-service integrations in warfare. Similarly, in P5 SA2, all P3 to P5 topics will be tested. So students taking the P5 SA2, generally P5 SA2 is a very tough paper. And I have set P5 SA2 paper when I was a science coordinator in Pei Hua Presbyterian Primary School. If you buy the past year's PSLE or P5 SA2 paper, you will notice that Henry Park and Pei Hua Presbyterian Primary School, they have very high standard P5 SA2 questions. And this is how we train the students here. In these questions, you can see the integration of topics involved. So, for example, here, when the switch is closed, electricity will flow through the circuit, causing this electromagnet or this device will be magnetized. And what will happen, the student need to describe in terms of how this device will control the water level. So this is indeed a very good P5, P6 open-ended questions. So therefore, it's important because more than 70% of P3 to P6 students, they have difficulty in giving accurate scientific answers to open-ended questions. And in One Academy, we help students to focus in mastering the concepts and answering the questions in accordance to context. So from F to A is not impossible, and from C to A is not impossible because we have these teaching resources. So these are the various resources which I use to coach students, and most of the time parents and even students, they like because we use this, which I call the SEAL method, scientific experiential application learning. And indeed, this is the latest platform I'm using from Marshall Cavendish, where students log in monthly to view my YouTube, which I've uploaded, because now we are into the e-generation, where students are being stimulated more by the digital learning platforms. So I welcome students to be immersed in my training. I'm a very passionate and very competent science educator to help you and to help your child love science, because I have the belief that no pupil is too difficult to coach for science. This is my motto. And over the past years, these are the students who came for my booster class from different parts of Singapore, and also as far as from Sengkang, because thanks to the downtown line, it's able to bring students for as far as Sengkang to Beauty World to be coached by Mr. Howard Yu. And the girl standing here, she's actually the head prefect of Fuhua Primary School. In fact, after my coaching, she topped the whole P6 level with her excellent 93 marks prelim P6 science paper. So she had the privilege of having this photo taken with me being the top student. And once again, I invite you to quickly enroll for the coming Good Friday training, very suitable for current P5 students. And also, if you can't make it, reserve 13 May, also a public holiday, for this second or repeated training on mastering science open-ended questions. And finally, on the 26th May, where I'll be going through some challenging questions from different schools' SA paper. So once again, Mr. Yu welcome you to join our training. Our holistic and happy education begins at One Academy. I was a former science HOD and former PSLE marker. You can visit my website, oneacademy.asia, to find out more. One Academy is also a registered tuition center with Ministry of Education, so it is considered a private school. You can contact me at 82685299. Best to WhatsApp because I may be teaching some student when you hear this, or when you get this information from. So once again, I like to invite you to join my coaching, and I look forward to see your child embracing science. And also, once they embrace science, they will naturally, their grades will improve. So just like the background behind me, we can help your child to sail beyond the horizon. And I wish you all the best in our partnership in education. Let us sail beyond the horizon with your child. Thank you and God bless.